This your boy DJ Akademiks, and I've been campaigning that you Negroes don't realize that your Twitter, your Instagram, all your social media links will find your ass in jail because Negroes like to think that prosecutors, district attorneys, probation officers, police officers, detectives, and all law enforcement personnel, they don't look at your social media, they don't follow you on social media. But we can see from this next situation because Meek Mill is the first rapper ever. Yes, call up Guinness Book of World Record because he's the first rapper that's ever got sent to real jail over Twitter beef. Now, he was sent to real jail instead of Twitter jail after he went to court. And this has been reported by Fox 29 in Philly that said Philly native rapper Meek Mill will be behind bars for the next 3 to 6 months after the district attorney said they were concerned about his recent behavior, which is included but not limited to his song lyrics, his fucking tweets, his Instagram pics, which allegedly there was a pic he put up of him holding a gun. So I'm guessing he must have had a brain fart, forgot this week, probably was feeling himself so much, stunned on the Instagram, maybe all those trolls getting to him, that he thought that he could just stun on Instagram, because we know everybody hating on Meek Mill. So he was trying to stunt, while of course the district attorney and prosecutor and even his parole officer was just taking notes like, okay. And now imagine how that fucking court session went. Now, Meek Mill, and we've seen him talk about how he's on probation or whatever it is. I think it stems way back from, I believe it was a pistol charge or some type of charge he had. And now he's been on probation forever. It just keeps getting extended. And before, he had to check in before he traveled anywhere. It was stopping his money. Then recently, he was allowed to travel. And then he had a situation with the police. He decided to sue a Philly cop. And you could imagine the system, or because we like to blame the system was probably like, you're going to sue us? You're going to sue the Philly Police Department? All right, nigga, we got something for you. Now imagine how that fucking court proceeding went. Meek Mill goes in court. He think he's just going in for a regular parole hearing. And he's thinking he's going to be fine after. He probably got his iPhone blowing up in his pocket. He's already ready to show off his next new jewelry and his new Louis V belt. He's ready to show that off on the gram. He can't wait till he gets out. And then the prosecutor steps up and said, listen, Your Honor, Mr. Robert Williams, he has been exhibiting behavior that we're very concerned. And we think you might need to throw his ass in jail. Now, we got a couple exhibits, and just bear with us, because we're going to go through this. Now, the last time we were here, and this is also very important, because in previous court proceedings, it was reported that the DA told Meek Mill that they're very concerned about his song lyrics. And they feel like his song lyrics are violent, and they are very concerned, and that is something they could use to, they could violate your parole or probation for anything. You're up to the discretion of them. You're not allowed, it's not a right to be out. It's really a right for them to do it whenever they want. Whenever they want to revoke your shit, it's shit's revoked. Now, imagine them saying Exhibit 1. Now, he dropped this 0 to 100 freestyle. I'm not going to lie, it's hot. We bumping in the whip at the DA station. It's bumping in the office. Oh, we all love this shit. But let's evaluate the Meek Mill lyrics. And this was recorded like 2 months ago. Now, Your Honor, the lyric says, as pulled up by Unrap Genius, rat nigga got my chain snatched, and he ain't even get the chain back. On the news with the police, now he talking on Twitter, and I'm playing that. This is poetic justice. And then, the most damning lyrics of it all. Fuck all that Meek, you gotta chill shit. And, Your Honor, just for the record, Meek is Robert Williams, the defendant that's standing right there. So, fuck all that Meek, you gotta chill shit. I be on some get a nigga killed shit. Your Honor, I told you, this Negro just can't learn. He's rapping about getting niggas killed. Now that's just Exhibit 1 for the prosecutor. Imagine when they get to his actual tweets and then his Instagram, where he's saying to Louis V. Gutter, if you touch me, you be on the fastest thing smoking to heaven. When he's talking about, well, if you got shooters, when you see me out there with those things around my neck, do your thing, huh? They probably start looking like, okay. And they're probably, listen, nowadays, investigations start and end with a bunch of screenshots. Like, The most useful tool to any detective in 2014 is the print screen button. You hit that every time niggas incriminate themselves. Okay, we told you about your lyrics. Oh, rap niggas got your chain snatch? What? Fuck all that me, you got to chill shit? You be on that get a nigga killed? Okay, screenshot. Let's get that audio. Let's rip that file. Okay, you're posing with a gun? Oh, okay, nigga. You think you probably deleted that quick that we didn't get it? Nigga, I'm your biggest follower. Niggas is taking all types of screenshots, screen captures, and now looks like it has come to bite Meek Mill in the ass. Now, Meek Mill might be the first rapper ever, the first fucking rapper ever to go to real jail over some Twitter beef that he probably thought worst ends him in Twitter jail. Ain't that a goddamn bitch? Now, just to entertain the fuckery, really, like, imagine if you think you was sunning my nigga Wale on social media. Imagine Wale writing a nice little haiku poem. He sent that to your little parole officer and they read it and just sent your ass to jail just off that. You know what I mean? Imagine that the nigga that you were dissing or sneak dissing or talking tough to, that was the shit that helped sending you to jail because they're looking at you like, this nigga's beefing on Twitter like a motherfucker. Goddamn. This nigga is the fiercest nigga alive in 140 characters. We gotta send this nigga to jail. Now, if you actually go down Meek Mill's Twitter page and even Instagram page, and this is not snitching, because Negroes like calling anything snitching. Snitching is when something isn't known and you're in on the crime and then you make it known that you could get a lesser sentence. But if a nigga has his public Twitter and public Instagram out and you point out what police are already looking at, it's not snitching. Now, you go down Meek Mill's Twitter and it reads like a fucking Pandora box for all district attorneys, especially if they warned him about this shit already. And I do gotta say, because Meek Millie's one of those guys where at least it shows that he does a lot for the citizens of Philly. I think he does more for the citizens of Philly than most other rappers do for their city, regardless of what cities they're in. However, he came out on the record saying he felt like they had something out for him. If you feel like they have something out for you, and you were talking about the parole officer, the PO, and even the DA, if you feel they have something out for you, you got to really walk a fine line. And this is the exact reason why when I'm talking about other rappers, and I'm like, listen, you guys can rap this shit, but you need to make it clear, not only to the fans, but you need to make it clear to everybody else in the media that that's someone that you're acting out. Even if you were really with it. Even if you're with the shits, you really do this shit, you'll probably really do it. When you are in public, when you're on Twitter, when you're not rapping, because that's an art. Being on Twitter is not a fucking art. When you're on Twitter, when you're doing interviews, when you're doing anything other than rapping, you need to make it clear, like, that's your persona. I'm a businessman. I have nothing to do with any type of violence, and I'm really denouncing that behavior. That's just me expressing my surroundings on a track. Just like how rappers used to love to say, well, why don't you get the guys in the movies? Well, you don't see fucking Sylvester Stallone show up on Twitter talking about he's gonna shoot his Twitter fans with the fucking guns he had in whatever Rambo movie he was in. We don't see that shit. So when you are trying to live that life 360, full circle, in and out the booth, it makes it hard to really compare it to movies. That's the reason why I say, listen, Lil Durk, Chief Keef, we love that savage shit. Meek Mill, I love all that rap shit. I like that aggressive rap talk. However, you gotta realize the age we live in now, you can't be that way when in every public forum you're really giving everyone ammunition and you're really snitching on yourself. When you're on Twitter talking about you're gonna do this, and if it happens to happen or violence comes from it, yeah, nigga, you're incriminating yourself. It's called self-snitching. You could claim one thing as an art, but then when it comes to being outside that art, and the art is just the music, you have to be a fucking businessman and you have to denounce it. That makes the best sense if you're really trying to do business. Now, if you're just trying to do some fuckery and you really want people to just believe it, because a lot of people really get on and really sustain off people believing it. When people, like, in 2003, even though I think 50 Cent was probably one of the smartest people ever, we really believed 50 Cent was that nigga that was really ready to shoot people. After 50 Cent sold a million records with Get Rich or Die Trying, he wasn't, you could tell the 50 Cent that has evolved now wasn't thinking like that. He ain't thinking like, nah, yo, I'm really on. Like, maybe if situation came to it, he would probably fight. He'll do whatever he has to, but he's not that dude that's still living the raps that he's singing. He's not that dude at all. Now, most of these rappers, they just have to learn, and also they got to learn that you're snitching on yourself when you put it on social media. You might get 1,000 retweets. You get 5,000 retweets, 10,000. You're going to slap the filling out of his tooth when you see him in the streets. But that's a threat, and everybody else is seeing it. You might think it's cool to go post up a bunch of guns on Instagram. But then you're painting a picture of your character outside the music. Now it's hard to separate the two when you're saying, no, one, I'm a businessman, one, I'm a musician. Because they're going to look at it and they're going to say, well, you're rapping about a bunch of guns. And Instagram, you got a bunch of guns. You're tweeting about a bunch of guns. Nigga, in all reality, you probably have a bunch of guns and you're being charged with a bunch of guns. So how are you going to try to paint a different reality? Now, I want you guys to get in the comment box. What do you think about Meek Mill actually being the first rapper in history to get sent to real jail over some Twitter beef and also possibly even song lyrics? Now, they haven't released exactly why, but as I said, even just speculating if they're talking about his actions and he's such a public figure, you could probably figure out what the fuck they're talking about. There's concern about his behavior, which is pretty public, and what has he done but put out diss songs, get on Twitter to talk shit, get on Instagram and try to stun on niggas. So, you guys tell me if you agree, you don't agree, you think Meek been wilding lately, and also, what do you think about these rappers knowing exactly the position they're in and still doing the fuckery that ends up being their demise? Now, it's your boy DJ Akademiks. Make sure you guys get in the comment box. Make sure you guys subscribe. Definitely share. I'm out.